Hi guys, my name is Emma Black and today I'm going to be showing you how to make these veggie waffles. So when we were developing this recipe, I wanted to make it something easy and something that everyone had at home. So for this recipe, you will need a cutting board, a peeler, a grater, and a cutting knife, a waste bowl for all of your vegetable ends and skins that you'll be cutting off throughout this recipe, as well as a mixing bowl to mix up your waffle batter. You will need 2 measuring cups. I have here a 1 cup measuring cup and then a 1/4. You will also need some sort of spatula, also a skillet, and then lastly you will need a waffle maker. So I have here a pretty big one, but if you have a mini one, that one will work too. You might just need to adjust the size of your waffles. If you don't have a waffle maker, that is completely fine. I'll be showing you at the end of this video how to make pancakes instead. So I have all my ingredients here. They're already prepped, but I will go over how each ingredient is supposed to be prepared individually. So always remember to wash your hands and then also wash all of your produce before you start cutting. So the ingredients for this recipe are 8 medium carrots shredded, and this makes about 3 cups, 1 medium yellow onion chopped, 4 stalks of green onion or scallions, 2 cups of spinach, and I just roughly chopped them, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1 cup of original Bisquick pancake and baking mix, and then 2 eggs. So to peel them, I'm actually going to hold it with my left hand, and I'm going to take my peeler. You want to make sure that your fingers are tucked in, and all I'm going to do is just run the peeler down like this, and then I'm going to put this skin in my waste bowl. Now I've gone all the way around, and as you can see, there's that little edge that I left to make sure I didn't cut any of my fingers. But they're going to take our grater, and I'm just going to go back and forth with the carrot. Make sure you know where your hands and your fingers are. So you see how I'm kind of getting close to the end. There's not that much room left, so I can't really hold it like that because that is very, very close to these sharp blades. So what I'm going to do is just dig in with my fingernails on the top, and it gets a little bit tricky, but just try your best to just keep your fingers as close to the top as you can. So that looks about right. So see how it just barely got up to where I stopped peeling. And then this goes in your waste bucket. Now our station, as you can see, is a lot cleaner than it was before. Our waste bin is empty. So here is how to cut your onion. So what we're going to do is we're going to first chop off this front end, the more pointy end. And just like the carrots, you want to be as stable as you can cutting, and you always want to tuck your fingers in. So no cutting like this, okay? You will chop off a finger. So tuck your fingernails in, and we're just going to chop off the top. This gives you a flat edge to work with. You're going to put it on that flat edge, and you're going to cut this in half this way. Perfect. We're going to peel one of the halves. I'm going to start peeling here. So now you're left with a naked onion with still the end on. This end is going to keep the onions together. But you're going to start by making slits this way. So again, you want to hold the knife, and you're just going to make little slits like so. And you're just going to do that all around the onion. There you go, and then this side, it's a little bit more tricky for you to see. So as you can see, it's not all the way to the end. Now you're ready to cut normally. I'm using this little knob as an anchor, and I am just chopping straight down. So I can probably do one more slice, and then that is gonna go in my waste bin. So we have our carrots and onions cut, and now the last thing of cutting is our green onions. I started off with a clean workstation. What we're actually going to be cooking, there are 2 parts of a scallion. There's the white, and then there's this green. So to cut this, kind of like the onion, I'm just going to cut off the end. Again, make sure my fingers are tucked in. as thin as you can get. We're just going to thinly slice. So again, just always make sure that your fingers are still tucked in though. And we're just going to thinly slice until we get to around here, where it starts to really turn green. So as you can see, it's pretty green now. So these whites of the scallions are what we are actually going to be cooking with. I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these so we can use to garnish our lovely waffles at the end. So don't mix them. So put these in the bowls that you're going to be cooking with, and these can go in a separate bowl that we'll use at the end. So to start cooking, I'm going to take my skillet and put the heat on medium-high, and I'm going to put my tablespoon of olive oil in there and just let that heat up a little bit. The oil in the pan is pretty heated. As you can see, it's pretty fluid and glossy. So now we're gonna go ahead and add in our veggies. So I have my carrot, my yellow onion, and my green onions, but remember we're only using the whites and we're saving the green tops. So you wanna make sure that you're stirring this well, and we're gonna cook this for about 7 minutes. You really want it to soften up. Just keep it on medium-high heat and just keep stirring and just watching it until it's softened. If you feel like the pan is too hot and your veggies are starting to burn or brown, then lower the heat, or if you feel like they aren't cooking enough, maybe you aren't hearing it sizzle, then you can crank it up. Okay, so these have been cooking for about 7 minutes, and this is the consistency that we're going for. So as you can see, they're a little bit darker, they got a little bit brown, and they're a lot softer than what they started with. Now I'm gonna add in our spinach, so then cook it for about a minute, and then we're gonna take it off the heat. Okay, so this has been going for about a minute, and it's a beautiful color. There are no raw pieces of spinach or anything. So I'm gonna turn off the heat, and you can set these aside and let them cool down while we make our waffle batter. So I'm sure that most of you have made waffles or pancakes, or maybe just watched your parents make them. So this process shouldn't really be new to you. So all we're going to do is take our cup of Bisquick and mix in 2 eggs. And then we're just going to stir all of this together. Okay, so your mix should look like this. And now we're gonna add in our vegetables. And now we're going to incorporate all of this in. So this looks pretty good. This is the consistency that you'll be going for. Now it's time for the fun part, making our waffles. So this is my waffle maker. Again, if you don't have a waffle maker, I will show you after this how to make it into pancakes. So all I've done is I've just plugged in my waffle, just let this heat up, and when your light turns on or off, then we'll get going. So to make our waffles as even as possible, we are going to be using a 1/4 measuring cup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my waffle iron. As you can see, it's very, very hot. And I'm just going to take my batter in my 1/4 cup. Using my spatula, I'm just going to take it and put it in the waffle iron. And you let it cook. It roughly takes about 2 or 3 minutes to cook. Flip it and open it, and I'm just gonna release it. So you can see that it's nice and golden. So I'm just gonna empty this onto the middle of the pan. Just gonna spread it out like that, pancake size. And then we're just going to let this cook for 1.5 minutes on each side, and I'll show you how to flip it. Get it on, just have to commit to it and just flip. And we'll cook this side for about 1 minute, and then you'll have some pancakes. So here are our vegetable waffles in one pancake. I went ahead and garnished them with our green onion that we saved. So I like these best just served warm as they are. We've tested some other sauces like a sour cream based sauce or a tomato sauce or salsa, but just play around with it, have fun, practice this recipe, and enjoy.